Hey Thrivers, you're listening to episode number 24. In today's episode, we're talking about heading back to school from a new preschool mom and a second grade teacher's perspective. Christine will be sharing with us some simple tips for making the back to school transition a little easier and what you can do to ensure a good relationship with your child's teacher.
And Rachel will be sharing what it's like to have a daughter headed to preschool, how she and her husband chose a preschool that shares their values and offers a great after-school program.
Whether you have little ones who are already in school or you're not yet a mom, we hope to provide you with some simple tips to make the back to school season more enjoyable.
Welcome to The Thrive, a podcast for working moms. This is for all the women and moms listening. If you work from home, in an office, run your own business, or are the CEO of your family, this podcast is for you. Because at the end of the day, all moms are working moms. Rachel and Christine invite you to celebrate the victories, get advice, listen to their mom fails, and to know you aren't alone, to thrive in your everyday life.
This episode is brought to you by Beautiful Home Interiors, your online home decor shop for wood signs, vases, succulents, and more. Beautiful Home Interiors can help you create a space that's inviting, cozy, and calming with their selection of carefully curated decor and accessories. Hey guys, this is Rachel
And Christine.
We are so excited to be doing today's episode all about back to school.
Yay!
This is Christine's favorite time of the year.
It's a crazy time of year. It's always surreal. For those of you who may not know, I am an elementary school teacher, and it is so weird how quickly summer feels the norm, and then all of a sudden we're back to school, and that's my new normal. So it's just a transition.
And I think even if you don't have kids in school, it feels like a time of transition as well, because I know just being involved in church things, like our small group is starting again and things are changing. I feel like, there's kind of a pause over the summer and then it's like back to the daily grind.
School buses are driving. Be careful on the roads.
Yeah.
I mean, you should always be careful on the road. But there's children at the bus stop in the morning.
Yeah, and it is just different. Like the dynamic in my neighborhood is different because the kids are out in the morning and then it's a little quieter throughout the day. So I know that my little ones are going to miss their playmates who are going back to school, but yeah.
I saw several pictures and videos of friends on Facebook where the older sibling was headed off to school and the younger ones weren't. And it was so bittersweet. Like the older siblings were comforting the younger ones or they were so excited to see them get off the bus in the afternoon.
Yeah.
That has to be so weird.
I was going to say it won't be entirely the same this year because Reagan is going to preschool. So she'll miss her playmates on the days she's here, but she's going to be gone too some of the days. So it will be a big adjustment for Rowan.
Yeah, she's going to have, where's my sister? What do I do now?
Yeah.
I think Rowan will quickly realize she loves it because she'll get so much more of your attention.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be a good transition. Well, on today's episode, we definitely want to share all things school with you guys. We're going to start with a little bit of my perspective as a teacher and then Rachel's perspective as, I was going to say a new mom. No, you're a
new preschool mom?
A new preschool mom.
Yeah.
That's a whole new title.
Honestly, it's like a new stage of life, making new preschool mom friends. So
they're going to love you. I feel like you'll want to do all the things.
I felt like at the orientation.
Join all the parent clubs.
I hope there's stuff to join. At the orientation, there was definitely some moms there that already knew each other. And I was like the new mom and was like, oh my gosh, I'm left out.
What do I do? How do I fit in?
Yeah, but I'm sure it'll be good.
We have a few moms that will come to open house, and I swear that they're just as nervous, if not more, as their kids, especially move-ins who are new to the district. And it has to be hard for these moms. Like, they're trusting their kids with a teacher they don't even know, and I'm sure they pretend that it's all good, but they're nervous too. So it's hard for everybody. Yeah. And exciting.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. But I have some questions for you. I mean, as a teacher,
yes,
I feel like you just have a different perspective on things because you see it from the other side. Mm-hmm. So what would be something that you recommend as far as like the back to school items go? I feel like there are moms that like get the list of stuff to, buy for their student and they go like above and beyond. Mm-hmm. Or there's others that are like, I don't know, do they even need all this stuff? I guess my question is like, what do you recommend? Like, what are the must-haves?
Well, actually, where I teach, we don't require much of our families. So there's really nothing our kids have to come with, a book bag and a lunchbox if they're getting lunch. We provide a lot of those materials for them. And I'm definitely in the position of purchasing some of that stuff. My husband saw all the crayons I bought the other day and said, I thought you already bought all the crayons. And I did not have enough boxes of crayons. And so our families do not have to bring anything the first day. Several of them asked that at open house, and I think they were relieved when I said, you don't have to buy anything. But I do have families throughout the year that offer to send something in, and that means a lot. I have no problem spending the money that I do on the things for my classroom, not just classroom supplies for each child, but things like new books for them to read, or I'm trying something new with flexible seating in my classroom. So I bought like workout mats for the ground for kids to lay on.
That's awesome.
So things like that I purchase myself, I do that because I know it will improve my classroom and it will mean a lot to my kids. But when I have parents that offer to send some stuff in, it does really mean a lot. It's kind of, to me, their way of saying thank you for what you do. One thing that I do ask for when I ask for supplies on the rare occasion is Ticonderoga pencils. I'm such a pencil snob. But I saw a picture on Facebook the other day of like all the different kinds of pencils there are. Those fun pencils with like, you know, images on them, like a fun.
Yeah, like the cool designs on them.
Yeah, those are horrible. Don't send those in.
Why are they horrible?
Because they don't sharpen. And when you sharpen them, like the fun design that's on the outside of the pencil, it gets like snagged in the pencil sharpener, and then the kids peel it, and then it peels all the way off the pencil. They're just more trouble than they're worth. And anything that's like I've gotten pencils from Staples for like, $2 a box, but those also don't last when you sharpen them. I'm a soapbox about the pencils. So Ticonderoga are a little bit more expensive, but they last, and the kids can actually sharpen them because they're sturdier and the points don't pull out. Like a lot of pencils that seem okay, the lead tips will, like the kids will just pull them out. And I got to the point last year where I literally maybe had 5 pencils for the whole class because I don't know where they all went.
Oh my gosh.
So I
bought using markers and crayons.
I bought enough for everyone to have 2 Ticonderoga pencils. I numbered them. They all had to have their pencils. And on Fridays, if they still had their pencils, they got a reward. And magically, nobody lost pencils anymore.
That's amazing.
So my point being in all of that, if your teacher has something that is really important to her, or she asks for something and you are able in a position to provide it, I know that would mean a lot to your teacher. It means a lot. Even if a parent doesn't understand, well, why does she need that kind of thing? There's probably a reason.
Yeah, so if like the brand is there, or if it's something specific, it's probably there for a reason.
Exactly. But if a parent sends something in that wasn't exactly what I asked, I always make a big deal of it because it does mean a lot. The kids are excited to share it with me, and that is really sweet. But
so if you already bought the Paw Patrol pencils, it's okay.
Also send in some Ticonderoga pencils.
So I have another question. What is the thing that students most often forget? Like, is there something that maybe parents could do on their end to make sure that that item doesn't get forgotten? Like, is there something that you're just like, if we just had a system in place for this?
Yeah.
Because I know you're very systematic.
Well, really, I think it would be what is expected is homework that gets forgotten the most by students. I do have some kids sometimes that forget their backpack. And a lot of that, I know there's stuff going on at home that I can't even begin to imagine with just, I'm at this house one day and at this house the other day, or my grandma came and watched me and then she checked their backpack. So I try to be sensitive when that happens.
Right.
It is hard when I have students that are a whole week without their backpacks. Oh, wow. So their folder and their agendas and books and all of that. But I think it's homework that gets forgotten the most. And what I've tried to work with parents about before, and what I try to do for myself if I notice I'm chronically forgetting something, is to make a list. And I say, even write on the refrigerator, a piece of paper, put on the refrigerator, like at night, pack your homework, put it in your backpack, and put it by the door, just so a child can see it. Even use pictures, like, here's what I have to do every night. Because chances are that's going to help the parents too. When my husband and I first sent our daughter to preschool. Oh my gosh, daycare. She was 7 months old. We had to put a list on the refrigerator because we kept forgetting. And although it felt redundant, every morning we would look at it. She needs bottles, because we kept forgetting. And I felt like an awful parent.
And I liked what you said about putting it by the door, because I know just like our kids' shoes. We have a basket that like our girls' shoes go in, the ones that they've been wearing. And then obviously I rotate them. The seasons change and everything. But they have like all their little flip-flops and sandals right now in the basket by the door. And that way they know where they're at. at this point, Reagan is responsible for putting her own shoes on and taking care of that. She's also responsible when we come in the house for taking them off and putting them there. Yeah. And she knows that that's because when we leave again, she'll know exactly where they're at. And it makes life easier too, because if we forget something, I can say, Kyle, it's right by the door. Mm-hmm. Like the diaper bag stays there. And yeah,
I thought of
such a great system.
I thought of you recently, and I don't know in what context, but about your girls' shoes being by the door. I don't know if it was me thinking about a routine or talking with you about a routine, because I noticed that was something you do really well and it works for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would just say homework gets forgotten the most, and any kind of system that works for a family, whatever it would be, just try something instead of just continually forgetting, because even if homework isn't, the actual homework itself doesn't seem super important to elementary school kids, I always say above and beyond, it is the actual act of remembering to do it, the responsibility that means more to me. Yes, read every night, 15 minutes. But for a child, even as young as 5 and 6, to remember when I come home, this is my one job I have to do. I do it because my teacher has asked me to, because it's important for me and my family's expecting it. And it really teaches them that responsibility. This is my job as a student. Yeah. It's not just because, I want you to go home and add some math problems. It's because it's important for you to know you have a job.
That's such a good way of putting it. I love that. I really love that. It's kind of like what Sheena mentioned in last week's episode about how, as parents, we are raising our kids to be responsible adults one day. Mm-hmm. So teaching them to have a sense of, responsibility and community, when they help around the house, then they are noticing things around the house. Yes. When they're in like the routine of, for example, Reagan is so accustomed to taking her shoes off at the door that she had a friend over the other day and was like, aren't you going to take your shoes off? And I was like, it's okay. I was like, her shoes aren't dirty. Yeah. But yeah, she's so used to it. And I love it. Like, we'll go to somebody else's house and I never have to tell her, like, please take your shoes off. Mm-hmm. And it's great. But I feel like once you establish those routines, kids notice and they respect that.
And even thinking with the transition you're going to have soon, Rachel, with Reagan having school, I feel like it's really important to teach kids what they can be responsible for, to give them a job, and to let them fail. They may not do it right the first time. It may take a while to learn. If you even have a system for homework, your child's going to forget. It's not going to be a fix-all, but letting them learn that on their own and not feeling like you have to swoop in and fix it. Or something like your child making their lunch in the morning or in the evening for the next day. Letting your kids make their lunch, and it may not look like it when you make it, and that's okay. I think sometimes parents, and I know I'm going to be that way when Nora gets to the age of needing to have responsibility, but we so naturally want to swoop in, whether it's because we got to get going, or because we want to do it right, or because we feel like, their lunch that they made isn't going to be the best. You need to give them responsibility and let them learn it that way. And I can see a difference in my students who I can tell who has more responsibility at home and who may not. And it's not because the parents don't care. I think sometimes parents, out of loving their kids, just let me do it for you, let me swoop in. But again, with the homework responsibility, students need to learn it somewhere and sometime, and they can. So
that's so good. I have one more question then. Whether you're like a new parent, or I guess each year it's important. So not just for new parents to establish relationships with their child's teacher, but each year your student most likely has a new teacher. So how do you, like if you were telling a parent, like how would I make a relationship with my child's teacher? Like if I need to approach them about things, like I don't want it to be weird, like is there something that a parent can do on their end to just kind of from the get-go establish good communication?
Wow, that is such a good question and so important. Teaching, having a child in school is such a partnership. And that's something I try to tell my parents a lot. And even in my newsletters, I thank them for partnering with me. Whether or not they realize it, we are a team and we're working together. And I want parents to know that I see them as a part of this educational team. Even parents that maybe can't be involved or don't come volunteer, they're still just as involved. I think whenever parents send an email with just like a quick question, and it really is like introducing themselves to me if we haven't met before. It's the way that a parent sends that email, or a quick question, a little bit of an encouragement, like, I know things are busy, but you're doing a great job, because I'm a person too, like I'm trying my best. And when parents acknowledge that, I really appreciate that. And I've never had a parent communicate too much. So I always appreciate the communication. Even if a parent emails or calls and tells me, hey, I hear this is happening on the bus or at the bus stop or at lunch, because I can't be everywhere all the time. And I know that my students aren't going to report things to me all the time that maybe they should, so that I can try to step in and help. When a parent wants me to know those things, and obviously the way they deliver the information means something,
right.
But I really appreciate that. And I hope that I make that known to the parents that come to me in that way, that I'm glad they felt like they could tell me and they trust me. And just believing that I am doing my best all the time. And there have been moments where I might drop the ball or I forget to follow up with a parent. So them just being gracious with me, and again, realizing that I am a person too. I'm not this perfect.
And you're in charge of like 20 some kids, right?
Yeah.
Like how many students do you have in your class this year?
22 right now. I had 25 last year.
Wow. And I know that in some public schools it's more. Like I remember growing up, in kindergarten through 4th grade, there was always 4 classes of my grade. There was like 4 first grades, 4 second grades, whatever. For some reason, when we switched from like 4th to 5th grade, I don't know if they were just short staffed, but they took all 4 classes and turned us into 3 classes.
That's a lot.
So for like 2 or 3 years, there was so many more kids in each class. Like that's almost 10 extra students per class. So instead of 20 per class, it was almost 30.
That seems like too much to me, but I know every district has reasons they do things, and so I always try to be understanding of it. But the class size does, I think, affect things greatly.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just, I can't even remember 30 kids' names, so props to you.
I have an awful memory, and I tell students that. I feel so bad, but I don't even remember all the kids I had last year. Like, if I really tried to, I could. I don't know what happens. Maybe my brain frees up the space for my new class coming up, but I just can't remember. So one more thing I just thought of too, and I want to move on to hear Rachel's perspective as a mom sending her child to school, but something I've shared before to friends of mine with children in classes, not just around the holidays, but it always means a lot when parents send me a note to say thank you, maybe a gift card to Dunkin' Donuts. But I know that school can be busy, the holidays and end of the year can be busy, but it always means a lot if a parent sends me a note to say thank you, because all year long I try to verbally and through notes let their kids know that they're valued and important and that they're doing a great job. At the beginning of the year, I've sent all my students a note in the mail before they've met me to say hi, and I'm excited to have them in my class.
So nice.
And so when a parent does that back to me, that just speaks volumes of it. I don't need a parent to buy me this huge gift, which, I mean, that would be nice, but a note means so much to me. So I've told parents that before of kids, to just make sure they're trying to tell their teachers they appreciate them, and I'm sure it will come back tenfold. So,
well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
We'll be right back. We love to share our favorite things, and Christine and I both have a serious weakness for home decor.
And one of our favorite places to find beautiful signs, succulents, and decorations is Beautiful Home Interiors. It is female-owned and operated right here in Lancaster, PA. Beautiful Home Interiors carries select products that you won't find anywhere else.
I personally love their selection of wooden trays and decorative lanterns.
And I love their ceramic succulents and vases, which I purchased at their open house last spring and put everywhere in my home. Whether you're decorating your home or you need the perfect gift this holiday season, Beautiful Home Interiors has you covered.
Visit beautifulhome.shop to browse their complete collection today and use the code BEAUTIFULHOME to receive 20% off your order. You can also follow them on Instagram at shop_mybeautifulhome to see their latest products and find out more about their upcoming holiday open house. So I loved hearing your perspective as a teacher, because I just feel like from the parent side, I'm not exactly sure what's going through the teacher's head. Like, do they think that we are just clueless? Or
No.
I love that the way you put it, like you made it feel like you really just think the best of every parent. And you would just appreciate if they did the same for you. So instead of sending a nasty email, like, just say, hey, like, I'm so-and-so's mom. Maybe you're not aware, but at the bus stop, like, this has been happening or whatever.
But that goes both ways as a parent, too.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to be there, and you're there right now having to think the best of your teachers, because there are going to be times where I'm sure Reagan comes to you and tells you a story, and your mama radar is going to go up. And
that's the thing I am probably most nervous about. Just, she makes friends easily, but as a mom, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I hope she has friends and I hope she has a good time. And yeah, it does make me a little nervous to like send her away, even though it's only a couple hours.
Well, even in that, I do this with Nora's daycare. If you ever send a note into the teacher and just say, can you just let me know how her day is going or how she is with friends, especially in preschool, I know her teacher would be happy to do that for you and put your heart at ease and tell you like,
that would make me feel so much better.
She played with this child at recess or whatever. You have the complete ability to do that. So don't just sit at home and worry or think that Reagan's not going to tell you everything. Yeah, ask your teacher. So, Rachel, how did you and Kyle pick your preschool? Because I'll be there soon enough. Tell me.
That's a really good question. Look at us with the questions today.
Well, I just feel like this is really important, and all of what you're going to say, I need to be taking notes.
Well, honestly, like, I didn't realize, first of all, how soon you need to start all of this planning. So when we were thinking about, no, not yet. But when we were thinking about preschools, so she's not starting until September 11th. So I actually love that they aren't starting until after Labor Day. It gives me some more time. But we actually began looking at schools like last winter. Like the year before your kid is going to go to preschool is when you need to start looking. And so because a lot of them will have open houses. I think the open house we went to was in February.
And so she was about 2.5 then.
Yeah, so she was only about 2.5 going on 3. Your kid might already be 3, but she's a spring birthday. But yeah, that's when a lot of schools will be having open houses or orientations and things like that. So we looked into a couple different schools. We had looked into like Veritas Academy, which is near here, and it's a great school. We had looked at like a Montessori style school, which I think she would really do well at because of how creative and just outgoing she is and how much she likes to explore. But that wasn't really in our budget. And then I had heard really great things about Calvary Preschool, which is also near us. And that was a big part of it, is for preschool, when it's only a couple hours, I didn't want to be driving her somewhere far away so that I'm literally just like driving and chauffeuring all morning. So,
and it's important that you might pass like a good McDonald's for a coffee or Dunkin' Donuts on your way.
Yes, coffee station at Landis Valley.
Yes.
So convenience was a big part of it, but also the schools that we picked were schools that we had either heard good things about or, read great reviews about. And then Calvary was in our budget, and we had personally heard from friends that have had kids there that they really enjoyed it. They liked that it was a big enough place. Like some preschools are really small, and I think Reagan would be fine wherever we sent her. But I actually like that Calvary's pretty big, so it is more, it's more like a regular elementary school. So I thought that would be great too, to prepare her for regular school.
And right when you went, did you get a really good feel? Like when you showed up at the open house, you knew it was going to be a good place?
Yeah, I did really like it. She had so much fun. They have like an indoor like playroom area. And she still talks about this like hobby horse thing. She's just obsessed with horses. So she still talks about it. Like we had to go, they have like a popsicles and playground day where you got your like ID photo taken.
Yeah.
And we had playground time, and she just kept talking about wanting to go back into the inside play area for this horse. So yeah, from the get-go, I really enjoyed like the director who kind of gave a little presentation, seemed very nice. It's also Calvary Preschool is at Calvary Church. So we weren't set on like, oh, it has to be a Christian preschool, but I do like that about it.
Yeah.
And I actually just yesterday, I listened to tons of different music. I love music. But I had on just like today's Christian hits on Pandora, because sometimes I just like to have that too. Like sometimes I really need some worship music in my life when my kids are driving me nuts. But the new Sanctus Real song came on. I think it's called like Confidence. And it's like, give me strength like Daniel in the lion's den or something like that.
I don't know this song, but I want you to keep singing.
And then one of them is like, it's like, give me like, I don't know, faith like Moses, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway. I'm not going to sing the whole song. But Reagan goes, Mommy, this song is about Daniel in the lion's den. Why are they talking about Moses? And oh my gosh, it just made me feel so good that like, just through Sunday school, she has learned like these little things. And
can you imagine what she's going to come home from with preschool every day? She's a sponge.
She really is at this age, and she just is so into Bible stories. And like, I love it because I feel like as a mom, I get so busy sometimes that like I don't always have the time to be like, you know, we do our prayers at night, but like I don't always have the time to be like, let's sit and read our Bible for a half hour every day. So I do like that sending her to a Christian preschool, she's going to get to absorb some of that.
And that is okay as a mom to say, all right, they're going to help us take care of this aspect of her upbringing.
Exactly. And I mean, as a parent, I think that that's doing our part.
Yes.
You know, if we aren't homeschooling or, you know, devoting all that time to it, we do what we can, but you know, we're doing our part by sending her somewhere that she's also going to get that type of influence.
Absolutely. And
so that was a big part of why we chose where we chose.
And Robert and I just dedicated Nora at our church, which is not Calvary, but that even makes me think of when we're dedicating her, how we're promising and praying over her to raise her up in this Christian community. And that's like what you're doing is you're just bringing in more people that you trust and you believe they have like sound wisdom about all things, biblical and academic, and you're trusting them with Reagan. And I think that's great.
Yeah, and it just made me laugh because after this song was on, it was on Pandora and she wanted to play it again. And I was like, well, I have to like...
like, let me explain this to you, how Pandora works.
Let me explain Pandora. So we YouTubed it. She like added it somehow to this playlist that she has because I don't know if it's just automatically generated by all the things you listen to over and over again.
Yeah.
But it was so funny because she listened to this song a couple times and then it went back to her usual like Katy Perry, the roar song. And I was like, well, this is a great one to add to our playlist so that it's not all like Shake It Off, Taylor Swift and Katy Perry. Now we have some Sanctus Real on there.
And can you please explain to Reagan sometime how Pandora works though? Because I would love to hear her 3-year-old mind explain that. I think that would be good.
She would just be like, well, mommy, then you should just click on this one.
Oh my.
Like she knows, like we have a smart TV, so she knows which button is like the Netflix button. And there's like an Amazon button to just like launch them automatically.
So basically she's going to come home from preschool every day with just this wealth of knowledge and be like, here's what I learned today.
Oh, I hope. I can't wait for that.
Well, I know that last year Reagan participated in gymnastics, I believe, a few days a week. And I can imagine that with all the things you have going on, your schedules might be changing a little bit with preschool.
Yes.
Have you also found other activities before after school for her to do this coming year?
Yes. So this year, because of her preschool schedule, we aren't going to be able to do her regular gymnastics. So we were thinking about doing an evening one, but I don't want to like overload her schedule. And honestly, like she's 3. She doesn't need to be doing like 4 different sports. So I think we might actually take a break from gymnastics. So if you're a mom that has kids in 5 different things and they're only 3 or 4 years old, this is me giving you permission to say, hey, just pick one, just pick 2. I mean, if your kid's gifted in athletics, which, I mean, growing up, I did multiple sports, but you don't have to start them at 3. So.
And taking a break, like you said, exposing them to different things.
So that said, we're taking a gymnastics break. And one of the things that Calvary offers, they partner with Soccer Shots, which is a kids like soccer development program.
Aren't they national?
They are.
Okay.
And so what's awesome is that Calvary partners with them and they actually do it at Calvary, like on the field there. So I think it's Tuesdays. There's like a 8 to 10 week season and she'll get to do Soccer Shots Tuesday after school.
Has she done soccer before?
No.
You have got to send me video.
Oh, I will.
I don't know if you're going to be there at the first practice, but...
Yeah, I can't wait. I actually, at Target, they have Umbro. Do you remember Umbro shorts, like from when you played soccer as a kid? Do you ever play soccer?
Well, no, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're so cute. They're like the typical little like soccer shorts.
Yes.
I got her 2 pairs because they had them at Target, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait.
So my mom calls soccer for young kids magnet ball because all they do is follow the ball, like when they're actually playing a game. But that's so funny. She will love that.
Yeah, I'm excited. And it's great because Soccer Shots is very developmental. Like they teach you the basics. It's all about having fun. And that's what they need at this point. She doesn't know anything about it. She's seen her cousins play. My nieces are actually pretty good. Like they're upper elementary and they're really into soccer. But yeah, I'm excited to see what 3-year-old soccer is like.
My niece did. That's why I thought it was national. My niece did, I'm pretty sure, soccer shots down south. And they taught the dribbling. And I believe it's called TikTok. And my niece would do it just kicking the ball back and forth with her feet. And she would do it pretty well. So that's what you're saying, just teaching those primary skills.
Yeah, I'm excited because it's the basics, it's just for fun, and I feel like that's what it's all about. And the other thing I was looking for in a school was, do they have some type of, like, if I had a meeting, if I had something I needed to do on a preschool day, and I needed more than 2.5 hours, do they have a lunch bunch program? And Calvary offers what they call lunch bunch, and there are certain days, I guess you have to let the teacher know ahead of time. I think it's like $10, but they can stay, they can have lunch, and then there's like an hour of like playtime or something. So, yeah. So, I mean, on the days that she has preschool, I will have Rowan. So I'm excited to get some one-on-one time with her. But if something were to come up, or if I didn't have Rowan on a certain day, my mother-in-law wanted to take her or something, I could get like an extra hour or so if she did lunch bunch.
So she just stays at preschool, but then would be extended. So you don't have to like go get her anything.
No, it's just an extended thing. So yeah, if I didn't have Rowan at home with me, I probably would do it more often. But at this point, I might see how it goes, and then maybe like second part of the year, do it just to get her used to like having lunch at school. And
that's a good idea. Feel out how much your mother or mother-in-law want Rowan, and then based on that, that seems like a good opportunity. Yeah,
I mean, I think it'll be great, and I'm just excited to see how much she grows, because I feel like it's going to be a really good year for her to just, you know, not just pal around and play all day, but really start learning, because she seems very eager to like actually learn things. She told me she wants to read. And I'm like, well, first you need to learn your letters.
Right.
But I know she's excited to like learn all the things.
You're a preschool mom. Are you ready for this?
I don't know. I think so. It'll be a little sentimental her first day, and I think if she was my only child, it would be worse. But I'm still going to have Rowan with me, so I'm kind of looking forward to like getting to have time with my little one.
Are you going to cry?
I might cry.
Okay, this
I'm
is like
gonna
a
take
new
a lot
Rachel.
of pictures.
Yes, I want to see all the feelings that you feel when she goes off to preschool.
Well, I will be sure to share all of those with you guys.
You have got to keep me updated. I want pictures minute by minute when you send little Reagan off to preschool. But I'm so excited for you and this whole new venture with you and your little girl.
I am too, and I'm excited for those like iconic, like the first day of school photos. Yes. I have to find a chalkboard, or maybe I'll borrow your letterboard or something to put like first day of preschool. She wants to be a princess when she grows up, or whatever. She'd probably tell me she wants to like ride a horse when she grows up.
Well, you're doing it, and Rachel, in case no one told you, you're doing amazing. So with all this free time that you have coming up, do you have any new projects that you're working on?
I wouldn't say I have free time, but I do have a more regular babysitting schedule on the days we don't have preschool, so that's been great. And yes, I'm excited. I have a workshop coming up. I did a workshop this summer that was called Marketing Made Simple. It was really just the basics of being consistent on social media and establishing a content calendar. And one of the biggest things I have learned over the past few years is that to grow your business, you really need to invest in yourself. So like once you are consistent, once you've established your audience, the best way to get to the next level is to really, you know, to elevate your brand. And you can do that by figuring out how to market yourself. You know, I'm doing these things consistently. I know that I'm good at things, but how do I tell people that? So my workshop I'm doing on October 6th at Supply in Mannheim is going to be all about marketing yourself, how to show off your skills and your expertise, how to tell people about what you do, what you offer, and why you're good at it without sounding like you're just trying to sell them stuff. Because I think there's a really fine line, and that's where sometimes people get stuck. So it's going to be all about marketing yourself, elevating your brand, and Annie Quigley of Lainey Bell Designs, she actually took some photos for you and I.
Yes.
She's going to be doing headshots, because another way to really elevate your brand, make your website look more professional, is to have professional photos of yourself. Especially if you're a solopreneur, like if you are your brand, you want to look professional.
And that sounds like even if you're in the beginning stages of your business or you've been doing this for years, like you just said, elevating it, taking to the next level. And what better way to do that with beautiful headshots?
Exactly. Yeah. And like you said, even if you've been in business for a while, headshots, like you're always changing. Like it's great to have something fresh, something new, and something to share on social media. You know, I always tell people to do like an introductory post every once in a while, especially if you have new people following you. Tell them who you are and what you're passionate about. And you can do that so well with like a great picture of yourself.
And Supply in Mannheim is a beautiful location. I feel like that is just the epitome of where you want to get photos taken.
Yes, it is so bright. It's so pretty. There's a lot of really cool places, like neat little nooks and places that we'll be able to do the pictures. And I'm excited. Attendees can bring with them like a prop or something. If you're a photographer, bring your camera. We'd love to get a picture of you holding your camera, reviewing a photo or something. One of those staged candids. But yeah, we want to make them not just like, oh, everyone stand in front of this wall. Right. We want to tailor them to the people that are attending. So I'm excited. Annie does a great job. It's a beautiful venue, so they're going to look good. And I hope that people are going to take something away and learn a lot.
So where can people find more information about the workshop and hopefully sign up?
You can go to rachelkleincreative.com/workshops and you can get all the info there. You can sign up and purchase your ticket online. And again, it's October 6th at Supply in Mannheim.
Awesome. Well,
I forgot to mention that we'll be serving you food. So it is in the morning.
Yes.
It'll be a light brunch provided. So yeah, sometimes I think people throw dates out there, but people are like, wait, when is that? What day of the week is that? So it is a Saturday and it's going to be 10 to 1. So don't worry, you'll be fed and
it won't take up your whole day because I know fall Saturdays can be busy, but you'll definitely enjoy coming and get a lot of information.
Yes, and you'll be able to connect with some other local businesswomen too, which is always my goal, is to establish connections with people and help you grow what you're doing.
So we hope to see you there because I will be there as well.
Yes, thank you, Belle and Barry.
And I take any opportunity to learn from Rachel because she is a wealth of information. Been learning with Rachel since 2017. Well,
be a t-shirt.
Thanks, Mom, for joining us for our episode today. And if you have little ones headed off to school or maybe they're already back in school, we just hope that it's a really good transition and that you have an amazing school year. And in case no one told you yet today, mamas, you are doing amazing.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening today. You are a part of a growing community of moms, business owners, and women who are here to encourage and inspire. You can connect with Rachel at Rachel Klein Creative on Instagram or rachelkleincreative.com. To keep up with Christine and her latest events, follow her business journey on Instagram at Belle and Barry Co. And if you want to be first to know about upcoming guests and giveaways, sign up for the Thrive Podcast email list today. Simply visit rachelkleincreative.com/The Thrive Podcast or follow at The Thrive Podcast on Instagram. If you've enjoyed listening this week or you've already added our show to your favorites playlist, we'd love for you to write us a review on iTunes. Your support and positive feedback allows us to keep encouraging moms and business owners each week.